worked with athletes as well, haven't you? You
Yeah,
worked in Premier League.
yeah.
Yeah. So what was the impact that this work had on them? Like because, and I kind of just want to go back to what you were saying there about like a lot of what you say. If you look at how intricate the body is, um, if you even break down a skill in a sport, for example, you have to break it down into its multiple components. But then when you're performing it, like you're not thinking about it. You just it's an
Yeah.
unconscious habit.
Unconscious. Yeah.
And then what you're saying, what you're doing is really breaking down the movement and where it just again from the foot and then break down the way up. So when you applied that to sports people who can be impatient, they want results pretty quick. They want to be performing at their best. How was your sort of like balance of introducing this work and also getting their performance um, better, basically?
Very simply, um, I have no remit, if you like, to go down the performance side.
Right.
Because what I know is that if they can access their anatomy better, their performance is they know how to use a ball, they know how to play the game, and they having more access to their anatomy just gives them much more of everything they already had.
Yeah.
Right. So that's almost a given for me. Regardless of sport or no sport, actually. Just but I know how to walk to the bus stop. I can walk to the bus stop one way and then go through a process online without even seeing a person and walk to the bus stop differently. That's my performance. That's my ability to get to the bus. So I'm not. I was stressing my knee every step I took, and now I'm not because I now know how to rotate my pelvis differently. Um, so that's the kind of performance connection. The challenge, it's not really a challenge. I don't find it a challenge. Football clubs have a way, it would appear, of working with their injured people. They have a process. They have a doctor at the top. They go through a process whereby there's an injury. They know how to treat it acutely, locally. If it's then it goes on this kind of downward slide, unfortunately. Whereas if there's no outcome over a period of time, the rush is to get them to a specialist, and then the specialist tends to look at it, and then they go to a surgeon, and then there's a surgery, and then there's a rehabilitation time, and whatever. So I guess you either get lucky with your injury and it's treatable quickly, or you end up on that slippery slope.
Mm.
That's what it seems to be. What I'd like to invite the possibility of recognizing that a lot of these injuries are coming. Yes, they're coming out of overuse, but overuse of your body in a certain way, because the exercises are strength and conditioning based, and so they're repetitive. So whether the new fad of 2019-20 seems to be Nordics to strengthen hamstrings, but have we actually taken the time to make sense of why hamstrings are weak if they need strengthening in the first place? Do we understand the role the hamstring needs to have? If someone's got hamstring problems, are we looking at their foot and their ankle and their histories and their knee, and if they've got back pain, are we actually paying attention to how the rest of their body is speaking to the back? So when I get to work with these athletes, that's what I do. I will take my time to, we use the phrase what's missing. We assess for what's missing. So parts of your body you will struggle to access. If I ask you to just to anterior tilt your pelvis, posterior tilt your pelvis, you probably go, oh yeah, one's easier. One causes discomfort. That's half of your movement.
Mm.
And then if you do that in all three planes, you can create a checklist where you go, actually, there's a load of stuff there I just can't do, but all this stuff I can do. So in that unconscious space you talked about, all the stuff that I can access is what I will access, and all the stuff that I can't access is what I won't. And then you just have imbalance.
But what you're saying
Really
about the
simple.
stuff that you can't access, the stuff you can't access is just where you're at right then. That's just where
Yeah,
you, so that's not saying you can't in the future, but you just can't right now.
right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a live assessment, right?
Yep.
So side bend left, side bend right in the rib cage. When I side bend left, I push my pelvis all the way out to the right. if you stop the pelvis going to the right, side bend left, they just can't do it. They need their pelvis, they need that weight shift in order to make it happen. Then you go, oh, right, I didn't realize I couldn't do that. But of course, in training on a Tuesday morning, when they're doing their warm-ups, they think they're doing it, but they're oblivious to the compensations and adaptations that are going on around the whole system. So by educating them, by pointing them out, not only do they realize that they do it differently left to right, but they're able to then relearn a way to do it. And we're not teaching them how to do it. We're just stopping them using the tools that they've accessed before to find a new way to side bend to the left. And so, yeah, so it's very interesting. It's very interesting to sit there, like, because it's conflicting. It's conflicting with what's going on at the clubs. It's conflicting with the existing knowledge out there. It can be uncomfortable, I think. In fact, I know for people who've been working in sports institutions for a long time, and they have their way. And so, you know, I do my best. I would love to be able to educate and help them out, but you know, there's a difference between speaking to the medical outfit and getting players to come for work. So.